Let's turn the clock back. Not a year, not 10, 100 years, all the way back, to a Europe that's still there under your feet, just quieter. It's 1926, same rivers, same hills, same old streets. But step outside the front door, and almost everything feels different. So get comfortable. There's nothing to do here but drift back with me, slowly, and look around. The people are the same as us, really. It's the world around them that has changed. Morning comes without a phone buzzing, a clock ticks on the shelf, or a rooster calls, and that's your alarm. The house is cold, properly cold. There's no central heating, so each room has its own little stove, and most of them sit unlit. Before anything else, someone kneels at the stove and coaxes the coal or the wood into flame. The beds are freezing too. You warm them with a hot brick wrapped in cloth, or a copper pan of glowing coals slid under the sheets before you climb in. Water doesn't always come from a tap. In many homes you carry it in from a pump in the yard or down the street. And the toilet? For many families it's outside, a little wooden privy down the garden. Indoor plumbing is a luxury, not something you take for granted. There's no fridge humming in the kitchen, instead, a wooden icebox, and a man who delivers fresh blocks of ice to the door. Monday is wash day, a tub, a washboard, and your own 2 hands, with the laundry strung up to dry. A proper bath is a weekly event. A tin tub is dragged in front of the fire and filled by hand, and often the whole family takes turns in the very same water. When the sun goes down, the cities glow with electric bulbs. Out in the villages, it's still oil lamps and candles. Everyone wears a hat. Clothes are mended, not thrown away, and a good coat is meant to last for years. Work is long. 6 days a week is normal, and the weekend as we know it barely exists yet. In the factories, everything moves by hand and by machine. No computers, no screens, just noise and steam. You're paid once a week, in real coins and notes tucked into a small paper envelope, counted out at the kitchen table. Hardly anyone has a bank account at all. Out on the farms, horses still pull the plow. A tractor is a rare and expensive marvel. Children walk to school and write on little slates with chalk, wiping them clean to start again. Most children leave school for good at just 14 and step straight out into a full day's work. After school they play in the street, hoops, marbles, chasing games. There is nothing to stare at but each other, and domestic service is everywhere. Even quite ordinary households keep a maid, because wages are low and the housework never, ever ends. To get around town, mostly you walk, or you ride a bicycle, or wait for the tram to rattle past. A few motor cars sputter down the road, proud and loud, but horses still pull most of the carts. Traffic lights are a brand new idea, so at the busiest corners, a policeman simply stands in the road and waves the cars through by hand. And petrol? You buy it in a can from the chemist or the ironmonger. The roadside filling station has barely been invented. A long journey means a slow train or a steamship. You measure the trip in days, not hours, and the sky is almost empty. Aeroplanes exist, but flying is rare, daring, and only for the brave. To reach someone far away, you sit down and write a letter. Then you wait, days, maybe weeks, for a reply. And you write it with a dip pen and a pot of ink. There are no biros yet, pressing slowly and blotting each line so the words don't smudge. A telephone? Only a lucky few have one at home, and even then you share the line with the neighbors and shout to be heard. If it's urgent, you send a telegram, and you pay by the word, so you keep it short. From a holiday, you send a postcard, a little painted view, a stamp, and a line or two of news. The thrilling new gadget is the radio, a wooden box in the corner, full of voices and music from far away. There is no television in the house, it's only just being dreamed up in a few quiet laboratories. The news comes on paper, printed overnight, sold on the corner, and read over breakfast or on the tram. To actually see the wider world, you go to the pictures. The newsreel shows you far-off places in flickering black and white, a week or two behind the times. A night out means the cinema. The films are silent, in black and white, with a piano playing along in the dark. No voices come from the screen, just music and the words that flash up between the scenes. And music is everywhere. Jazz drifts from open windows, and the dance halls fill up on a Saturday night. The dance of the moment is the Charleston, knees knocking, elbows flying, scandalous and joyful, while the older folk tut from the edge of the room. At home, you might wind up the gramophone and set a record spinning, scratchy, warm, and wonderful. And nearly every front room has a piano. The evening's entertainment is simply whoever can play, with the whole family gathered round to sing. Skirts are getting shorter, hair is cut into neat little bobs, and the whole decade feels like it's speeding up. A photograph is a rare thing. You sit very still for the box camera, and you wait, and you do not smile. Cigarettes are everywhere, and thought rather glamorous. Some brands are even advertised as good for your throat and your nerves. In summer, whole families pile onto the train to the seaside, striped deck chairs, a brass band on the pier, and paddling in the sea in your ordinary clothes. But most evenings are quiet. The family gathers around that radio and simply listens together. Food is local and it follows the seasons. You eat what grows nearby when it's ready. There's no supermarket. You go to the market stall, the baker, the butcher, and you know them all by name. The milkman comes round with a churn on a cart and ladles the milk straight into the jug you hold out at the door. And an orange or a banana is a small marvel. For many children, a treat you'll only find waiting in your stocking at Christmas. You carry it home in a basket. Hardly anything is wrapped in plastic, because plastic is barely a thing yet. There are no credit cards. But the corner shop keeps a little book and lets you buy on tick, settling up when payday finally comes around. The coffee is brewed in a pot on the stove, and the tea is loose in the cup. No buttons, no machines. And keeping food fresh is a daily job, a little at a time, because nothing keeps for long. Medicine is simple and often gentle guesswork. Penicillin hasn't been discovered yet, so a small cut, a fever, a cough, things we shrug off, can quietly turn serious. A trip to the dentist is a thing to dread. An aching tooth is often simply pulled out, with very little to dull the pain. And tuberculosis, they call it consumption, still haunts the crowded streets, with no reliable cure to reach for. At the pharmacy, the chemist mixes your remedy by hand, grinding it in a bowl behind the counter. When you're truly ill, the doctor doesn't wait for you. He picks up his bag and comes to the house. Money is coins and paper notes, kept in a tin or a drawer. You save what you can, slowly. And over all of it hangs a recent shadow. The Great War ended only 8 years ago, and almost every family remembers someone who did not come home. In 1926 itself, that strain boils over. Across Britain, millions of workers lay down their tools in a great general strike, and for 9 long days the country holds its breath. And here's the strangest twist of all. The television you don't have at home is being born this very year, flickering to life for the first time in a quiet laboratory. In the bookshops, a gentle new story appears about a small bear with a serious weakness for honey, a bear the whole world will come to love as Winnie the Pooh. On Sunday, the shops are shut, the bells ring out, and the whole town seems to slow down together. In the afternoon, families walk in the park. No rush, no screens, just a stroll and a talk. As dusk falls, The lamplighter comes down the street with his long pole, waking each gas lamp one by one. And when night falls, it falls harder than we're used to. The streets go dark and the world goes still. There are more stars overhead and fewer sounds below. The town is asleep by the time we'd only be starting our evening. And yet, under all of it, people laughed at silly jokes and fell in love and worried about money and dreamed about the future. The very same hopes you carry now, just wrapped in different clothes, under a different sky. That was Europe 100 years ago. Close and impossibly far away, both at once. Next time, we'll turn the clock back again, another 100 years, to 1826, and watch even more of the modern world quietly disappear. The lights will go out, the machines will fall silent, and the roads will empty of everything but horses. But that's a journey for another time. That's it for this trip, traveler. Thanks for coming back with me, and we'll rewind again soon.